Hey team, this is Nathan from RunDreamAchieve.com. I wanted to make a video on how to stay focused with running because I got a question recently from one of my viewers. His name's Dion Nell. Great question, by the way, Dion. He says, thanks Nathan for the encouraging talk. I lost a bit of focus these days and needed that. Do you have a video on how to keep focused? I think I get bored with doing the same routines over and over. How do athletes train their whole lives and not get tired or bored with it? Again, great question, Dion. I think, believe it or not, there are plenty of athletes around the world that do get bored and overcome what they have to deal with on a daily basis during their training. I think a lot of times we just see the like I said in other videos I've made about event versus process. We always see the end result. The fast times of what athletes, middle distance or long distance runners are dropping on the roads or on the track. But we don't see all of the process that went into those great results. We don't see those days where those athletes were doubting themselves and having a hard time getting through the training, and those days where they couldn't finish their workouts, or maybe they didn't hit the workouts in the types of times that they were going for. And so those are the things that we oftentimes never see. We only just see the great times and the great results. And I can definitely tell you from my own background that I had plenty of days where I got bored with training. It's monotonous out there where you're doing the same thing. But that being said, you always have to have your end goal in mind. So you have to either find a way that's going to get you fired up and out the door on a consistent basis. Know that what you're doing is going to take commitment. It's going to take grit. It's going to take being tenacious about either going after that type of race time you're going for, or maybe a goal weight you're wanting to be at, or a performance that you're going after, maybe a Boston Marathon qualifying time or Olympic trials qualifying time, or any type of goal that you have. You have to have see those goals on a daily basis. Write them down. Visualize yourself succeeding. But that being said, you're going to have trials. You're going to have times in your training where you're going to be challenged, and that goes for all of us. Doesn't matter what what level of athlete you are, whether you're a beginner, moderate level athlete, or you're an elite level athlete. You have to find what it is that's going to get you out the door on a daily basis and to keep you motivated. A lot of times over the years, the things that I would do to stay focused was, a lot of times maybe you need to take a week off completely. Don't be afraid to take some time away from the sport. Most oftentimes that's exactly what you need to do to recharge, regroup and get fired up again about what you're doing. Even if you took a week off, you're not going to lose any fitness with a week off. It's starting after like 2 weeks. You're going to lose some, you're going to lose some fitness, but you can gain it back very quickly. But if you start feeling down, if you feel like stressed out or just bored with what you're doing, and also not only taking time off, but try considering doing alternate workouts. If you don't want to go out on the roads or you don't want to do a track session, get in the deep end of a pool and do some pool running. Again, if you don't wear a flotation device, that is an extremely difficult workout that is very close to land running. And it's even better than land running because you don't have any stress and any forces that are being placed on your ligaments, on your joints, and the fact that you have to focus on pumping your arms and moving your legs in the deep end of the pool to keep yourself above water, and to have that water resistance there as well. That's a great way to still get your workout in, but not being on the roads and on the track. Know too that there's going to be days where you're not going to have athletes around you to hold you accountable. And in terms of staying motivated and staying focused during that, I said a few days off, maybe a week off completely. Eat whatever you want, drink whatever you want. I said, just to completely enjoy some time away from the sport will help recharge your batteries. And again, we all experience that from time to time, especially with tougher conditions. I think Bill Bowerman said it best. He said that there's no such thing as bad weather, only soft people. And so do know too that those experiences when you have to get out when it's pouring down rain, or when it's super hot out, or when you're running in blizzards. Just know all of the other athletes that have done what you're trying to do have experienced those things as well. You know, I've run in every type of condition you can think of, even sandstorms. When I was in Kuwait back in 2003, I was running 5K races around the perimeter of our base, and you know, trying to run races in sandstorms. You know, I've run in blizzards and pouring down rain, hot, you know, hot conditions, sleet and snow, ice. You know, the same thing. But over the years, that's the end goal was what kept me going. I wanted to reach my potential as an athlete, so I was willing to put in the work for as long as it was going to take. And the same with you. You have to look inside yourself and say, hey, how badly do I want this? Am I just trying to be good here, or am I trying to be great? Because I can tell you from my own background that greatness in this sport takes far more than you and I really, you know, fully realize. We're trying to go after very fast times. We all have our own goals, and you know, whether those are race goals or some other type of goal that we have in mind. Oftentimes it takes much longer to reach those goals than we anticipated, and that's where you have to be. You have to have that belief in delayed gratification, and know that even the best middle to long distance runners around the world experience boredom. They experience times where they doubt themselves, but they keep putting in the work. You know, they're consistent, they're tenacious about what they're doing. And so don't get down about, you know, when you do have some bad races and bad workouts. If it's on a consistent basis and you continue to have the same types of results, I highly recommend getting a blood test and seeing if you're running low on a particular mineral or nutrient. You know, a lot of times when we're sweating a lot, we lose iron. And if you run low on iron or ferritin, which is a component of iron, you know, iron plays a key role in oxygen transport within the cells. So if you're running low on iron, it's going to be very difficult for you to perform at the highest of levels, because again, oxygen transport and cellular health is absolutely essential for success in middle to long distance running. So you have to pay attention to your nutrition. You have to pay attention to your rest and recovery. Again, if you're feeling lethargic and you're feeling bored with what you're doing, look at how you're setting up your training too. You know, are you still running far too fast on your easy days? Okay, that's a big mistake I made over the years. I've still focused on what pace I was running on easy days. Get beyond what pace you're running on recovery days. Your focus should be on those hard anaerobic days. When you're doing tempo runs, when you're doing track sessions, when you're doing your long runs, especially the varied pace long runs I talk about in other videos, not so much the easy, relaxed long runs. Anybody can go out and really run easy for a long period of time. But when you're doing a more focused, specific long run where you're running more at a specific pace for a long period of time, that takes a lot out of you. So look at how you're setting up your training, especially on your easy days. It's very easy to start doubting yourself and feeling like you're you know, getting bored with the sport, because again, you're pushing the body too hard too often, and you're not allotting sufficient time to recover from the hard workouts you're doing. So start looking at how you're setting up your training as well, in terms, if you ever, you know, if you're feeling bored and you're feeling like you have a lack of motivation, look at those things too. How much rest are you getting? You know, are you staying up late at night? And I'm not saying you are, Dion, but I'm just saying other athletes, a lot of times we have to look at these things. It's not just about, like I said in other videos, it's not just about the hard track sessions we're doing or the hard road sessions workouts we're doing. It's about the things that we're doing in the other hours of the day when we're not on the roads and we're not on the track. Proper rest, proper recovery, mental training. How much visualization are you doing? How much time are you spending, you know, seeing yourself doing what you want to do on a consistent basis mentally? You know, mental training is one of the key tactics that the best middle to long distance runners use to get great results. They see what they want to do well in advance before they do it. I know that's what I was doing well in advance of breaking 2 hours and 20 minutes for the marathon. You know, and there are plenty of runners around the world that break 2 hours and 20 minutes, both males and females. You know, the females that are doing it are the very best in the world. The males that are doing it are doing it on a routine basis, especially the best male marathoners in the world. We see runners breaking 2:10, we see them breaking 2:02, 2:03, super fast times, but they all experience what you and I experience. They all experience times in their training where they feel not as motivated. They feel lethargic. They feel bored with what they're doing, but they stay consistent. They either take time off, they get away from the sport for a little bit, allow themselves time to recover. They start adjusting how they're setting up their training so that they start recovering from the workouts that they're doing, so they don't stay in that bored state and they don't stay in that demotivated state. Again, also listen to something positive, whether it's a podcast or a video like this, anything that's going to get you fired up and keep you motivated to do what you're wanting to do. For me personally, I always read books on biographies about great coaches and great athletes. I just recently finished the biography of Dr. Jovi Hill called Chasing Excellence. Definitely consider getting that book, learning about Dr. Jovi Hill, one of the world's best exercise physiologists and Olympic coach, who was a mentor of mine. I worked with when I was coached by Jack Hazen at Malone University. So these are just a few things that I suggest, and I hope this video was helpful for any of you that are experiencing boredom or experiencing a lack of motivation for what you're doing. It's the state. You have to get out of that state, and sometimes you just need some more rest. You need to start adjusting what you're doing in training. Make those little changes. Get more sleep at night. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water, taking in plenty of fruits and vegetables during the week on top of your training. Recovery is absolutely huge, and most oftentimes we just need a little bit more rest because we're so driven and so focused on hard training that we don't often, a lot of times we don't give ourselves enough rest. So I hope this video was helpful. If you have any other questions, leave me a comment below this video. There are obviously resources below all my videos that are there to help you take your training and racing to the next level. So if there's anything else I can help you out with, leave a comment. If you have a topic or something you want me to cover in my next video, definitely feel free to leave me a comment below. And I look forward to hearing about your future successes and getting beyond this state of lack of motivation and boredom. We all have to get past it, but just know that it's normal. All middle to long distance runners, whether beginners or elite level athletes, all have experienced the same situation, but they always get past it because they're consistent and motivated toward what they want to do. So, and I know that's you, Dion, as well. So I appreciate your question. I hope this was helpful, and I will talk to you all in the next video.